Universalist in Newburyport, Massachusetts. My name is Eileen Vargas Costello, and I have the privilege of serving as your worship associate this morning. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you're new and you'd like to connect, please fill out one of the blue cards in your pew and put it in the collection plate. We come together at FRS, in person and online, committed to love, peace, and justice, comprometidos al amor, la paz, y la justicia. Our mission and our invitation to all of you is to come as you are, journey together in love, act with courage, transform our world. If you're worshiping online and would like to access this morning's order of service, please click on the link just below the live stream. If you would like a large print order of service or hymnal, please ask an usher and they will be happy to help you. Every Sunday, it is such a blessing that we can gather, so let us give ourselves to it. Welcome once again. It's good to be together.
Good morning. My name is Kristen Miller, and I am your worship leader this morning. I'm a member here at FRS. I served for 10 years as the youth music director before the pandemic, and I am also a shamanic practitioner and a professional cellist. And so for our call to worship this morning, our theme this morning is shamanism, which I'll explain a lot more about in my sermon, or as my sister calls it, the long talk. I will explain much more about that later, but since shamanism is our theme this morning, for our call to worship, I will call in spirit in the shamanic tradition. Great Spirit, we thank you for this day. We thank you for our lives, for this community, for this opportunity to grow and learn. Great Spirit, purify our minds, our words, our hearts, and our bodies. Ground our feet, that we may serve the highest good of all. We are humble and we are grateful. You give us so much when we need so very little. Spirits of the East, the place of the rising sun, the place of springtime, of planting seeds, of new beginnings, place of nurturing, of germinating, place of new ideas, and the element wood, like new tree branches, flexible in the spring, ready for growth. Spirits of the East, we thank you for being with us. Spirits of the South, the place of summer, of noontime, the place of high sun and the element fire, place of heat, growth, trust, community, development, fermentation. Spirits of the South, we welcome you and we thank you for being with us. Spirits of the West, the place of the setting sun, of autumn, of harvest and abundance, the place of the element metal, of strength and beauty, the place of the last beautiful colors before darkness and winter. Spirits of the West, we thank you and we welcome you. Spirits of the North, the place of darkness and midnight, the place of winter, of cold, of fallow seasons, of digging deep for nourishment, the way the ancient ones, the trees, have taught us, the place of rest and renewal and restoration, the place of death, the darkest hour before the dawn, before the life cycle begins again, the place of the element water, of stillness, the place of dreaming. Spirits of the north, we welcome you. Spirits above, Father Sky with Brother Sun and Sister Moon, all the glittering stars of the heavens, angelic presences and divine beings of all genders, ascended masters, helpers, protectors, spirits above, we welcome you. Spirits below, of the lower world, the crystalline structure of Mother Earth, the place of power, animals, and teaching, the place of the earth's deep wisdom. Mother Earth, you are our mother. Mother Earth, we care for you, and you feed us. You nourish us. Mother Earth, we thank you. Mother Earth, we love you. Mother Earth, we are sorry. Mother Earth, we are doing better by you. We thank the spirits of all directions for being with us this morning, and we thank Great Spirit for this day and for this gathering. You are faithfully called to worship. Please rise in body or in spirit to join us in singing our opening hymn, number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are. And this is summer, and we're kind of loose and casual, and we're just gonna a cappella this thing, and it's gonna be beautiful. So I'll just give you a starting note, and we'll just go. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, ours is no caravan of despair. Come yet again, come. You may be seated. Thank you.
Please join in saying our chalice lighting words as Steve lights the chalice. The words can be found in your order of service. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning, in celebration of the life we share together. Each week, we also light 2 candles of peace, representing 2 places on earth we lift up and remember as a sacred encounter with our world. There are an untold number of places on earth that need peace. These 2 we especially hold close in the service and through the week ahead. After each candle is lit, I will invite you to respond saying, peace, salam, shalom. Our first candle is lit for countries in the Middle East experiencing war, for Israel and Iran, where a ceasefire is currently in effect after 12 days of intense conflict, and for Gaza, where Palestinians continue to face violence in Israel's war against Hamas. May the Israel-Iran ceasefire hold, and may talks resume calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and leading to lasting peace in this region. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom. Our second candle is lit for communities across the U.S. where undocumented migrants are fearful of being detained and deported, often leaving family members behind. May these migrants be treated with dignity, respect, and compassion, and may we be reminded of our shared humanity and extend our grace, empathy, and kindness. To this we respond, peace, salam, shalom.
Please rise in body or spirit as we join our voices in our affirmation of faith, followed by the doxology. The words can be found in your order of service. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest of truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God. From all that dwell below the skies, let faith and hope with love arise. Let beauty, truth, and good be sung through every land by every tongue. Thank you. You may be seated.
The generosity of our community is an essential ministry that supports the work of the church, both in Newburyport and beyond. Each week, 50% of the Sunday offering, not designated as a pledge, goes to a local community partner engaged in important efforts to transform our region. Our community partner this month is Newburyport Pride, which unites, educates, and engages people to support and empower the LGBTQ+ community and our allies with a focus on inclusion. They work to educate the wider community on diversity topics in order to build a stronger, healthier, and kinder society. They do this by facilitating LGBTQ+ Pride events that inspire, commemorate, and celebrate our diverse community through unity and visibility. To give online, please use the link in your order of service or below the live stream. You can also make a contribution by text, and of course, you can always mail a check to the church as well. Thank you. The offering will now be gratefully received.
Each week, we lift up the joys and the sorrows of our beloved faith community. Eileen Vargas Costello, our pastoral care associate, will light the candles as I read what has been shared with me in advance of today's service. If you would like to share a joy or a sorrow to be read in the service, you can always send an email to betweenus@frsuu.org or write in the book located in the vestibule before each service. Our first candle this morning is a wish of hope and healing for Anne Mulvey, who suffered a fall at home and broke her femur. She is currently at Whittier Rehab and hopes to be home soon. We also light a candle of sorrow and hope for Kathy Stark, who has shared with us that she was diagnosed with ALS in May. She was prepared for this based on her symptoms, so it was not a shock, and she is actually relieved to have a diagnosis. She is going to Mass General for treatment and hopefully a clinical trial, so we'll be back at home periodically starting at the end of July. Home will be her base of operation for visiting with family and friends and also going to MGH for treatment. She does not ask for prayers, however, positive healing vibes would be appreciated, along with a recognition of ALS and its devastating effects. Kathy writes that she was oblivious to the effects of ALS until she experienced it herself. Should you feel so inclined, a donation to the ALS Association or the Sean M. Healy Center for ALS at Mass General would be greatly appreciated. Those are the two candles that have been given to us this morning. We light an additional candle for all of the joys and sorrows that we keep in our hearts, that are unspoken even to ourselves, and for the joys and sorrows of everybody in our greater human family. For our meditation this morning and our pastoral prayer, please join me in a spirit of meditation and contemplation. You might want to close your eyes or soften your gaze downward, whatever works for you. Just let your body come to stillness. And notice the peace that arises from that stillness. You can focus on your breathing, feeling your body breathing in and breathing out. Focus on the sounds of the room. How many sounds can you hear? And if you like, you can picture divine light pouring in through the crown of your head. Filling you from the top down, divine golden light, pouring in to your head, your jaw, your neck, your heart, your torso, your arms, your hands, down into your legs, coming out your feet and into the earth. knowing that you are connected to the earth and to the divine. Connected to all the other souls at this very moment who are meditating around the world. A network of meditators, a network of light. Connected to everything that is. Knowing that housing this divine light, you are a spark of the divine. May we all know that nothing and nobody can ever take away our divinity, can ever take away the truth that we are a spark of the divine, each one of us. No person, no ideology, no amount of hate can ever take away our divinity and our connectedness to all that is. Take a few more breaths here in this place. Really luxuriating in this knowing. Amen. When you're ready, you can gently let your eyes open or gently bring your focus back into the room.
Today's reading are verses 89 through 90 from the Radiance Sutras. You are stunned, powerless. You thought you knew what was going on. Now you realize you don't have a clue. You're stopped in your tracks. Everything within your skin is shaking. Enter this shaking. Get curious. Look around inside with wonder. Unmind your mind. All the walls have fallen down. Go ahead and dissolve. The one who has always been, who has seen much worse than this, is still here. Radiant One, please listen to me. The essence of all teachings is right here. Open your eyes. With a soft and steady gaze, look out upon creation. Receive waves of light as they enter your eyes, singing of infinity. The light touching the back of your eyes is immortal, born in the primal sun. Be present to this enlightenment. This is the ancient knowing, a sanctuary that is everywhere. Galaxies are flowers on this altar.
That's such a reading, isn't it? If you haven't read the Radiance Sutras, I highly recommend them. You could just open to any page and start reading. It's that kind of a collection of meditations and insights. So when I was a kid, and maybe when you were a kid, there was a game that we played in the neighborhood. It was called Red Rover. Did anybody play it? Red Rover? Yeah, a lot of us know that game. For those who did not have the good fortune of playing Red Rover, I'll explain it briefly. There are two teams of players, and each team forms a row of players, all holding hands. And the two teams face each other about 20 feet apart, sometimes standing on a not so busy trafficy street and sometimes in somebody's backyard. And play begins when one team calls a player over, like this: Red Rover, send Kristen right over. At which time Kristen from that opposing team goes running as fast as possible towards the calling team, trying to break through a pair of linked hands. If Kristen fails to break through the barrier, she has to join that team. If she succeeds, she gets to choose a player from that team to bring back with her to her team. You see how this works? It's ripe with metaphor. Okay, remember this, because we're going to come back to this a little later in my long talk, which I promise isn't too long. We're going to come back to Red Rover in a few minutes. But what I really came to talk to you about is how insights from the shamanic community might help you survive and even thrive in today's truly challenging world. So if you're not familiar with shamanism, you might be wondering what it is. So I'll just give you a short little primer here. Shamanism is an ancient way of life and a form of healing that has its roots in indigenous cultures throughout the world, dating back more than 60,000 years. In shamanism, we believe that everything we see materially, the trees, the earth, the oceans, human beings, even illness and suffering, all began as energy. We also believe that everything is interconnected because of this. Before a tree, there was the energy of that tree inside of a seed, the energy of the sun, the energy of the rain. And in this, we're connected and we're never alone. We have the trees, the animals, nature spirits to guide us. And we keep daily practices in order to keep that communication alive through that connection. We see ourselves as part of the whole earth, not as supreme to it and not in domination of it. In its theory and its practice, shamanism is a really beautiful way to live. But what does this have to do with healing? If everything began as energy and something has gone wrong in the material world, then a shamanic practitioner's job is to work on the energy field until things change in the material world. And these indigenous practices that we use have included healing illness, healing communities from natural disasters and trauma, or journeying psychically to the ancestors or helping spirits for direction and guidance. And this is what I'm especially going to focus on today. I've been practicing shamanism probably all my life, but I've been practicing it formally and consciously since I started studying with my beloved teacher, Ann Drake, in 2010. And I'm honored to be a part of the circle of shamanic practitioners who meet several times per year with her. When we meet for Shamanic Circle, we drum together. We honor the directions and our spirit guides, the same as I did when I called us to worship this morning. We honor the elements, the ancestors. We make prayers for the well-being of our world. And we do what is called journeying. We use a drum beat to go into an altered state where part of our soul journeys to a non-ordinary, non-material reality. It sounds a lot weirder than it actually is, because what we're really doing is accessing our indigenous brains. The brains that humans had before television and technology and automobiles and supermarkets. Those brains still exist in each of us. We as shamanic practitioners have certain techniques that we use to access them daily. And when we journey, we get information about our lives, the direction we might take next, and how to help heal humans, animals, situations, and our world at large. When the drumbeat ends and we re-enter ordinary reality in the material plane, we write down what we saw immediately, what we were told. We like to say we write down what we got. And then we share it in circle with each other. It's astounding how many of us get the same or similar messages, and how many of our messages interlink, even when we're not sitting in circle together. These can be circles around the world that people are getting similar messages. So I would like to share with you now some of the messages that have been coming through to the shamanic community, not just to me or our local circle, but in many places. So the first idea that I want to talk about this morning is the shift. And you might have noticed that all heck has broken loose here on planet Earth. And you, like most other people with a pulse, have probably been deeply worried about this. And yeah, I have too, and we have too in my community. And this can all feel really extremely worrisome, especially if you don't have a context for what's actually happening in our world. So I'd like to give you some of the context in the way that we're beginning to understand this. So the words the shift refers to a shift in human consciousness that is meant to transition our planet from old patterns of violence and hatred to a new, more loving and peaceful way of being. Many believe that the shift began with the 1987 harmonic convergence. I don't know if you all remember that, but the harmonic convergence was the first synchronized world peace meditation. It was worldwide, and it coincided with a rare planetary alignment. According to messages that were coming through shamanic communities, we knew that there would be a lot of disruption on our planet: disease, weather, climate change, injustice, war, suffering. Because of this, many of us began dedicating our lives to the healing arts so that we could help the earth make this transition from violence to peace and to love. Healers know that in order for healing to take place, a wound must be exposed to the light. And this is why so much greed, so much violence, so much terror, so much injustice, and so much suffering is happening at this time. We believe it's all coming up in order to be healed. And the good news is that there are more healers on this planet than at any other time in history. When you can look at today's world through that lens, it can feel less scary, and we can all feel empowered to do our part to help with the shift. So here are some practical steps that we can all take beginning today to survive and thrive through this scary and uncertain time. And you can pick and choose from these as you like. We do. You can. So this comes directly from Spirit, and it's a message that's given to me many times when I sit to meditate or when I journey. And it's this. And you can feel free to pull out your phone and put this in your notes section. I won't be offended to see a phone come out. There's only love. Anything that has gone outside of love can be brought back to love. I'll say it again. There's only love. Anything that has gone outside of love can be brought back to love. This is a message that I'm still getting inside of, and I'm still applying, and I'll probably learn to apply for the rest of my life. And if we can all understand that, if it becomes our North Star, the thing we steer by, we can remind ourselves and each other about that frequently. Number 2, this is like maybe something that nobody wants to hear, but I'll say it. Have a daily meditation practice. And I say it like that because a lot of us in the West feel overwhelmed by the idea of meditating. So I'll tell you, it does not have to be long, and it does not have to be uncomfortable. But it needs to be daily, or almost daily. We all need a few minutes to sit in silence, away from screens and distractions and the outside world. That time needs to be long enough that our thoughts settle and our minds quiet. That time right after we wake up in the morning, one of the best favors we can do for ourselves is to not look at our phones. Just don't look. Not until we've done what we do here. Not until we check in with ourselves and say, how am I doing? I feel myself breathing. I feel my body. I feel my feet hit the floor. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, universe. Thank you, life, for whatever it is you believe in. Thank you. for this day. I'm alive another day. Taking a few minutes of silence to orient ourselves back to the waking world. It's one of the most important things we can do for ourselves. Not look at our phone. Not invite the outside world into that moment of transition. And what we tell ourselves in that moment that we're waking up is so powerful. It's the rudder for our day. It steers the direction of our day. Without that quiet time, we cannot access our higher self and our connection to spirit. We can't nourish our hearts. The world's just too loud and distracting for us to be able to access it. So we need the silence. And it's our hearts and our spirits that are going to solve the problems that the world is facing. It's not our chattering minds. Our chattering minds don't have a chance at this, even though they tell us that they are the only ones that can solve the problems. We don't shut down that chatter by willing it to be quiet. We shut it down gradually over time by listening inward daily. Try it. Set a timer for 1 minute. If it feels intolerable to meditate, just set it for 1 minute. Just give yourself that minute. Be with yourself. Number 3, this also comes directly from Spirit. Know that you alone are not responsible for the shift. This is a group effort. Each healer is a drop in a river of healers. Each helper is a drop in a river of helpers. Each helper does their part. We don't have to do this alone, and we don't have to because we can't, but we all feel like we have to if we're not in community talking about this. So we need to talk about it with each other. Each day, if I can wake up and take my place in the river of healers, in that way, I can be in the flow of the shift. It's never on one person's shoulders. If I don't think about it this way, it's intolerable to me. None of us deserves to feel responsible for everything that's happening. Number 4, and this one actually comes from our own Mara Flynn, who is our religious education director here at FRS. She told me this on inauguration day when I was crying my eyes out. So, I cry too about this. We're in the long game here. The shift towards love and justice is going to take years and years, and we may not see it come to full fruition in our lifetime. We may, but we may not. We work for it anyway. And this shift, this is childbirth. We breathe and push, breathe and push. We can't push all the time. It's not push all the time. We'll wear ourselves out and then there will be nobody to push. So we breathe and push. And as a group, we give birth to a more loving planet. And it's messy and it's painful. And we breathe and push. Number 5, we remember that when we meditate, we connect with everything that is. And we know in our bones, in every cell of our body, that we are one with everything. We're all connected. We are divine love and light embodied. That's the meditation we did this morning. Once we know that, nobody can take it from us. No tyrant, no haters, nobody. All right, here's the last one. Remember the game of Red Rover that I talked about at the beginning? We're calling back to that now. 2 opposing teams joining hands, aggressively running at each other, trying to outnumber the other team. That's the game that humanity is playing right now, and it has been for a long time. One side against the other. It's a game that nobody is ever going to win. Meditating on our own, while important, is no longer enough in today's world. What we need to do is take what we learn in our own meditations and find the other ones who also know that they too our divine love embodied. So it's corny, but I'm just going to ask you to take a moment and just look around the room. These are the people who know. Now you know what it looks like when somebody knows that they're divine light embodied. And now when you go out in the world, you'll see others and you'll be like, hey, I recognize you. I know what we look like. And what we do is we link arms with those beings because holding hands just isn't enough anymore. We link arms and we create a circle around those who need us. We create the world of love and justice that we want to live in. And we invite others to join us, and they may refuse at first, and they may say that we're silly or new agey or foolish, but we keep inviting them to try. Just try it this way. And we invite them to lay down the stick or the sword and link arms with us. And we don't say, oh, look how great we are, and look how terrible you are. Come join us. We say, would you like to join us, please? Would you care to link arms with me and circle around these people who need us, these beings who need us? And we make it possible for folks to say yes and mean it. And we make it possible for people to change and save face while they're changing. And in this way, we welcome others into the shift. And if you think about this, FRSUU has been doing this for hundreds of years. We're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We'll never be perfect. But I think we're pretty good at this. And that's what we have to be, is pretty good at this and willing to learn. Most recent example of this was our embrace of the queer community when our pride flag was torn off the church and our building was vandalized. We all met out in front of the church, not just members of FRS, not just queer folks and the people who know us, but community members in support. People who weren't members of the church, people who were just walking by, stopped and joined. And that gesture was louder than the vandalism. And this is how we walk forward during these times, arms linked, and inviting everyone to join us. Thank you. I'm going to go a little out of order. Usually we sing a hymn and have a benediction and then a postlude, but because I'm doing the music today and the preaching today, I'm going to play the postlude now so you can hear it, and then we'll sing a song, and then I'll do the unison benediction and the blessing, and just, I'm going out of order. I just thought I'd tell you. So sit tight or not tight, sit loose, relax. I'm going to play something for you. Please rise in body or in spirit to join in singing our closing hymn, number 413 in the gray hymnal, Go Now in Peace. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Please remain standing and join in saying our unison benediction as Eileen extinguishes the chalice. The words can be found in your order of service. May the love which overcomes all differences, which heals all wounds, which puts to flight all fears, which reconciles all who are separated, be in us and among us, now and always. May you be safe. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful and at ease. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. Go in peace, my friends, and return again in great joy.